So in the last video, we saw one example of hypothesis testing. So that hypothesis testing is actually a two-tail testing, two-tail hypothesis testing. What is that? You see there our null hypothesis was h naught is mu is equal to mu naught and h1 is mu is not equal to mu naught. If you have this situation, in that case, what will happen? This, you have two tails, this tail here and this tail here. This forms your critical region, right, where you will reject your null hypothesis, and here you will accept your null hypothesis. This is your acceptance region. This interval is your acceptance interval, right? So here p value is the probability of these two tails. So that is why this is called a two-tail test. But we can also have a situation like this. Suppose our null hypothesis is mu is equal to mu naught, and alternative is mu greater than mu naught. In that case, this is your critical region, because when you have value greater than mu naught, like this is your critical region, right? There will be a significance level alpha. So this is one tail test. Similarly, you can also have a situation where mu is equal to mu naught, and this is your null hypothesis, and your alternating hypothesis is mu less than mu naught. In that case, this is your critical region, right? So your p value is again the probability of one tail here. So in these situations, we call it as one tail test. So let us look at one problem. So the problem is that a random sample of 100 recorded deaths in the past showed an average lifespan of 71.8 years. So you have a sample data from 100 people who died, and you saw that the average lifespan for them is 71.8 years. And the population standard deviation is given, that is 8.9 years. Does this seem to indicate that the mean lifespan today is greater than 70 years? Use the significance level of 0.05. So let us see how we are going to do this problem. So here you see again you will specify your null hypothesis. Say this is my null hypothesis, that mean time is 70 years. Okay, and then I have alternative hypothesis, which is because we want to test a mean life is greater than 70. So I'll take this. Okay, so that means now alpha is given to be 0.05. So what is my critical region? Critical region will be, so you want this thing, right? Here you have 70. This is your mean 70, right? And this will be your after a significance level of alpha. So this is your critical region, right? So we are looking at z alpha, that is z 0.05. So do you remember? So our critical region was when you have one-sided bounds. In the last chapter, we had like this. One-sided bounds were x bar plus z alpha sigma by square root of n, and x bar minus z alpha sigma by square root of n. So you had a z alpha here. You don't have z alpha by 2. And this value, if you took take this value from the table, so this value will be this value is 1.645. Okay, so this is your z value. Okay, now let us find the, so it means that we have if z greater than 1.645, that is your critical region. Okay, so you have this situation. This is 1.645. This here is your critical region where you will reject null hypothesis, and this is your acceptance region. So in this case, now I'm using the classical approach. So if I compute my statistics, so my data is x bar is 71.8, sigma is 8.9, that is the population variance. So z will be 71.8 minus 70 over 8.9. Sample size was 100, square root of 100. So that will give me 2.02. So this value is here in the critical region, lies in the critical region. Therefore, reject h naught. Therefore, decision is the average life span is greater than 70 years. Okay, because your h naught was that mu is equal to 70 years, and we reject it. And if you want to do the same problem with p value, then how you will compute your p value? So you see this statistics is 2.02, so you have 2.02 here. So you will look at this probability. So your p value will be, in the last case where you had two tails, you were finding the probability of two tails. Here you have to just look at this probability, that probability z is greater than 2.02. So that will be 1 minus probability z less than 2.02. Look at this value from the table. This number is 0.0217. So clearly this is less than 0.05, which was your significance level. Therefore reject H naught. So you see the difference between classical approach and p-value approach. They are almost same. Just here you have to find the probability. Now let us look at another problem. Here you have another problem, that a manufacturer of sports equipment has developed a new synthetic fishing line that the company claims has a mean breaking strength of 8 kg with standard deviation of 0.5 kg. If a random sample of 50 lines is tested and found to have the mean breaking strength of 7.8 kg with 0.01 significance level, test the hypothesis that mu is equal to 8. So here you see again mu is equal to 8 and mu is not equal to 8. Okay, so here you have this two-tail test, because you are not talking about less than 8 or greater than 8. It is just equal to 8 or not equal to 8. So that is what you have to understand there, right? This is your step 1. Then your alpha is 0.01, that is your significance level. Okay, so in this case your critical region will be because you have your population standard deviation given 0.5. Okay, so your critical region will be z alpha by 2 to z alpha by 2 minus, right? So if you look at these values, so this is like this, z alpha by 2 is z 0.01 by 2. This value will be, you can check it, this is 2.75 and here it will be minus 2.75. So my critical region is minus 2.575 to 2.575. Now you compute your statistics. If you compute your statistics, that will be x bar minus mu over sigma by square root of n. So x bar is here 7.8 minus 8 over sigma is 0.5 divided by sample size is 50. So this gives you a number equal to 2.83. So this number is outside the where this number is, can you locate it? It's here. This number is here. Okay, so this belongs to the critical region, outside the acceptance region. Therefore reject H naught. Okay, so we found that therefore a mean is not 8 kg. Okay, so now if you want to use the p-value, what you are going to do? So you see this is your 2.83 is your critical value, right? Minus 2.83. Minus 2.83. So you are going to find the probability of these two tails. So probability that mod z is greater than 2.83. You can use the tables. I'll just write the value. This is 0.0046, which is less than 0.01. Therefore reject H naught. Okay, so with both the things you will get the same result, right? Now let us look at the now one more thing. When the population variance is not known, in that case you have S. So we know that in that case what we will do, we have this result that x bar minus mu over S over square root of n has t distribution with degree of freedom n minus 1. So either you use this result, or if your sample size is more than 30, in that case you can approximate your sigma with S. So you will have this is same as this, and then you can go for the normal distribution. So that is your choice. Okay, so let us look at one example here. So we have this example that Edison Electrical Institute has published figures on the number of kilowatt hours used annually by various home appliances. It is claimed that the vacuum cleaner uses an average of 46 kilowatt hours per year. So that is your claim. So what is your mu naught? H naught. H naught will be mu is equal to 46. If a random sample of 12 is chosen, so your n is 12, and an average of 42 kilowatt per hour for vacuum cleaner with standard deviation of this is found. So you get x bar is 42 and S, this is a sample standard deviation, not the population standard deviation, 11.9. Okay, so does it at a significance level of 0.05 accepts or rejects the hypothesis? So your H1 will be mu is not equal to 46, because we are not talking about anything greater or less, right? Okay, fine. So we have here x bar is equal to 42. So in this case, what you are going to do, so you have, just a minute, give me a moment. Okay, so okay, in the question, does it accepts or rejects the hypothesis this? So here the hypothesis is this, mu less than 46 kilowatt hours. Okay, so in this case, if I want to look at this hypothesis, if I assume my null hypothesis to be this, so in that case my alternative hypothesis, because this is the thing I want to look at, I'll assume to be it to be mu less than 46, right? So here we have these things. Alpha is 0.05. So let us look at our critical values. So here the critical values will be, because we are looking at one-sided one-tail test. Okay, so one-tail test, so you will look at T alpha. So your T alpha here is T 0.05 with degree of freedom equal to n minus 1, which is 12 minus 1 is equal to 11. So you will see 11th row of the T table. So this number is, if you calculate it, this is 1.796. So therefore our critical region is, because you are looking for less than, so critical region is Z, T, because we are computing T value here, less than 1 minus 1.96, because this is the thing you are looking at. Okay, this is your critical region for the null hypothesis. Now let us compute statistics, sample statistics. So that will be x bar minus mu over s upon square root of n. X bar is, we just computed it to be 42 minus 46 over s is 11.9 square root of 12. So that is minus 1.16. So this is minus 1.796. 1.16 is here. So this does not belong to critical region. Therefore, except we fail to reject H0. Fine. Okay, so it means that we cannot say, we depending on the data, we still have that mu should be 46. Okay, so we fail to reject H0. With p value also you can do this. For p value, what you'll do, p value will be probability that your t value is less than this number, and if you compute it from the table, it is this, which is more than your significance level. Therefore accept H0. So in this case you are accepting your H0. So this is how you will be doing the hypothesis testing. So we have discussed two cases, one where population standard deviation is known and one where population standard deviation is not known. You will use the corresponding Z and T distributions. We'll be looking at difference of means also, that when we have difference of means, then also we can use hypothesis testing. So we'll see that in the next video.